Bruh, 100% tariffs on Tesla. Hey. Canada's not playing. Hey, I'm with it.
Welcome back to Peace of Mind, everyone. As we all know, Trump started a tariff war with Canada, Mexico, and other countries. Let's watch the mixed reactions.
So remember when Donald Trump said the prices were going to go down on day one of his second term? Yeah, well, a recent poll found that over a majority of Americans feel like prices have actually gone up since Trump's gotten back into office. But that's to be expected. Donald Trump does not give a shit about the American people. He was perfectly content to use them for their votes, but now he's showing that his only priority, his only interest, is himself and his billionaire friends.
A lot of individuals do not understand that what Trump is doing right now is actually very smart. Now, this is one of the first administrations that actually outlined their game plan and told us exactly what's coming. Everyone is freaking out that the stock market is crashing, but they told us that this would happen. You guys just didn't pay attention. The feds basically did not want to drop interest rates at all. They only had one cut planned for this year. And with that cut, they probably weren't going to go off many points. Now, what Trump decided to do was basically put the stock market on the brink of collapse. Yes, no, we did not crash, but we had a 10% correction on QQQ. What does this mean? By the stock market pushing down so much, it's going to force the Fed's hands. It's going to force them to step in and to cut interest rates. And it's already working. They have already announced 2 more cuts this year alone. Here's the thing. If you guys look at QQQ's price history, it typically corrects 5 to 10%. In worst case scenario, 20%. I don't think we're going to get that. We saw price hit 10% correction, and then it hit a 200 EMA as well. And what did QQQ do? It bounced. It bounced almost 3% in a day, or actually in 2 days. So what do I think price is going to do? I think we're going to consolidate here for maybe 3, 4, 5 more days. In my opinion, we should continue upwards. Anything fundamentally could push this continuation down even further. Now, I'm hearing a lot of talk about the tariffs being pushed back maybe a month. And if we see this happen, then we should see a good run for the next 2 weeks.
Trade war with Canada. Great idea, Trump. They supply 90% of our DDT, and we're only about 3% of their EBT. So how's this going to work? Besides that, I filled these tubs with all the Canadian products I use on a daily basis. Look at this. Look at all these Canadian goods and services. I've got another look at all this. Canadian goods, Canadian products, a couple Canadian services in there. I don't get it. I've got the service truck out there. It's packed with 0 Canadian tools, packed to the brim with no Canadian materials of trade. This is really hurting just average everyday American. There's nothing worse than having to pay way more for some crap I wasn't even going to buy to begin with.
Here's what I'm not understanding about all this tariff business, right? Let's say I am an American company, American made, American manufactured, whatever. And I have a product that costs $10, $10. My biggest competitor makes the same product I do, same type of product, is in a Canada or a Mexico. And their price point is also $10. But now with that 25% tariff, their product now costs, what, $12.50. Why wouldn't I, American company, capitalist, trying to increase profits and margins for my shareholders, why wouldn't I just raise my price to $12? It's still cheaper than, the foreign product. It's American made, but folks are just paying more for it for no reason. Why wouldn't I just do that? Why wouldn't I just, and think about that. Me, regular average dude, can think of this. I know these think tanks can think of this and more. They probably are been thought about this. These tariffs don't just raise prices on foreign goods. They raise the price of every fucking thing.
Well, that was quick, wasn't it? Now, there's no word from Secretary Lutnick on whether or not this means they're going to reverse the tariffs completely or just roll back how high the tariffs are, but the point is this. It shows us that every time Donald Trump tries to play hardball on something, he backs down the second he's met with even a modicum of resistance that could result in consequences for him. Which is exactly how his first term went. He would try to play hardball on something stupid. His economists or his security analysts would say absolutely not. He'd back off. He'd wait a month. He'd try it again. They'd tell him to back off again. He'd back off. And that's how you manage Donald Trump. You simply say no long enough and loud enough and he backs off because he doesn't know what to do with someone who doesn't give him what he wants. He's used to getting what he wants. It scares him when he doesn't get that from someone. And that's why, yes, you'll see him make moves in this presidency that hurt people. He's already making moves that hurt people. However, he will not have the actual chutzpah required to turn this into the dictatorship that he and Putin both want it to be. And that's because, and say it with me class, he couldn't find his balls if you stuffed them in his mouth with a helping of caviar.
I'm gonna need you to remember this moment, okay? When not that long from now, your life is measurably much worse. This especially goes for those who claims that this is what you wanted. When you're asking yourself, what the hell happened? I'm gonna need you to think back to right now, March 3rd, because this is when you're getting everything you wanted. This is the moment you are responsible for. Just a few days ago, the House passed its budget framework bill with the America First budget plan. All but one Republican voted for it. 0 Democrats voted for it, okay? So make no mistake, this is 100% a Republican budget plan. The one you guys are real proud of. The one that guts Medicaid and still includes taxes on tips. The one that raises your taxes but lowers Elon's. The one that adds at least another $4 trillion to the deficit. That's your plan. That's what you want. Today, Trump announced that these supposedly delayed tariffs on Canada and Mexico are going through. Tonight, stock market's down, crypto's down, everyone's expecting them to go even lower tomorrow. There will be layoffs. Things will get more expensive. We're about 11 days away from a government shutdown. Yeah. So when you can't pay your bills and you're asking yourself why, how, remember that we tried to warn you. We know who's to blame. Good luck.